Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Commentary is Magic stream discussing Set 8 spoilers for Defenders of Equestria. I am Grand Paws.
I am Emperor Bugle.
Big Cheese.
Arcat, and today with us we have some special guests.
Leo.
I am Living Silver.
And
I am
Leo.
And Ponko's here as well. And I don't know about you guys, but it feels good getting some spoilers.
I'd almost forgotten what it felt like.
There have been a few spoilers.
Oh.
And I'm not sure that I could possibly handle any more. I mean, we've already gotten so much. I think just what we've got right now. Oh God, please give us more.
Dear Princess Rob.
I mean, I think 13's enough. Besides, you already know everything.
I mean, sort of. But, you know, I want to see art. Art is pretty. Ponies are pretty.
You mean like the art that we have on stream right now?
Yes,
Best
that
art.
art is glorious. Best art. So, let's do just a quick wrap-up or summary things before we dive into looking at these cards, which most people have already seen, and share our thoughts on them. First, we would like to extend sincere thanks to some of the individuals who have donated to us on our previous streams, especially at events like Pacific PonyCon earlier this year. So to Cursed Chords and T. Burns, thank you so much for your donations. They helped make these streams more possible.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. It's absolutely great.
It really does help. Mobile bandwidth is, even in 2017 now, that's that what year it is? Yeah, okay. Even in 2017, mobile bandwidth is still incredibly expensive for some reason.
I thought it was 1720.
What?
No, it is not 1720.
No.
These newfangled box in front of me that's lights and colors.
Now you're making me wonder when the radio was invented. I forget these things.
It was definitely not 1720.
Pretty sure.
Louise, turn on the Marconi. I want to hear the news. Anyway.
So thank you for those donations.
Absolutely, yes.
And just to briefly sum up what we've got, Interplay, of course, has released some spoilers for the 8th set of the My Little Pony collectible card game, which is called Defenders of Equestria, as we've heard. These spoilers were released at PonyCon about, a week, 2 weeks ago, something like that?
I think it was just the one.
PonyCon NYC, approximately.
It was
1 week
2
ago.
Fridays and 2 Saturdays ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
1
yeah.
week ago.
Yeah. We also got an official post which released some relevant info. May 1st is our release date. The set has over 140 cards. I talked to Rob about that, and he says that the set is actually about the same size as Marks in Time, which is about 150. So maybe that was a typo, maybe that was just miscommunication, but he says it's about the same size. It's a booster only set, so there are no starters in this set.
So basically the same thing as Marks in Time.
Yep, same as Marks in Time. We also have 2 new keywords, experienced and redeemed. We have no idea what they do.
Of course not.
Okay, one of us has an idea what they do. Well, two of us.
Yeah, of course not.
3 of us. 4 of us. 3 of us.
9
5,
of us.
Sir. And Interplay is also going to increase the size of OP kits, which is good news for those of you who actually do get OP kits. But I believe you can order them directly from Interplay now rather than through a distributor, so that should make it easier for people.
Nice move. I haven't seen any caveats saying they.
Yeah, I didn't see any caveats. It seemed like you could just order them straight from Interplay, and that might help OP kit participation. because they've been struggling with that for about 2 years now.
Yeah, it's been difficult, especially with the sheer number of distributors that are present in the US and
Mhm.
the MLP-CCG being very successful in some areas and less successful in others. It's difficult to know exactly where you can get those kits. But now you do.
Our Lowens, redeemed equals cutie marking for adults sounds, I mean, possible, but I wouldn't think it's very likely. They wouldn't just use the same mechanic over again.
Redeem sounds like something you might see on characters who have generally been antagonists.
Your Discords, your Trixies, your Bacons.
A best queen card. Lots
Our
of best
queen?
queens. Our queen. Best queen.
What queen?
As
Our queen.
You mean Thorax?
Traitor to the hive.
There has been speculation on Thorax, actually. Rob, Princess Rob did a little bit of Facebook trolling earlier this week,
Oh.
and we love him for it. Don't get us wrong.
I didn't know he did Facebook trolling. I know only about the other troll. The only thing I've seen on Thorax is someone, I don't even remember who, I think it was in the IRC, thought that Thorax might be the ultra rare yellow main. And I like this theory, but I have no proof that it exists.
We'll have to see. Rob definitely hinted that Rob definitely confirmed that there was more than just the 6 mains, which we're about to dive into here, and also hinted that what character would be good to see in yellow that was directly related to the season 6 finale. And the answer is clearly our queen.
I think there's been a couple people posting either
I think it's
in
the
Reddit.
Fluttershy swarm.
Yeah.
Just a swarm of Fluttershy?
Yes, that would be amazing too. That would also be acceptable.
I'd settle for this.
It's like Cloney Pie, except as a main and in yellow.
Please no.
Type or trait Pegasus, 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 Pegasus.
Yeah.
Anyway, I suppose we should move on to mains and stuff.
Oh, what? Those things that we've been waiting for like a year? Yeah,
Maybe,
that
maybe.
might be a good idea to discuss. So let's jump right in. We're going to go ahead and go through these in color order. I think each of us are going to briefly share our thoughts on these mains, and we'll chat about that for a bit. If you in chat are watching and have thoughts you'd like to share on these mains, please do so in chat. We'll call you out.
Oh, and one thing we should preface before we dive into the spoilers, we have been told that these are not necessarily their final forms. We already know one of these cards has changed. Did you get the updated version of that one?
Yes, we have the updated.
And likely all of their flip conditions are going to change so where they don't turn over the problem instead of themselves.
But that's
Likely.
aw.
Likely.
I like face down problems.
I like face down problems too.
Face down problems cause problems.
They do. That's why I like them.
You don't think they solve problems?
Boo.
Anyway, let's
right.
get into the meat of it.
So first off, we've got our brand new Rainbow Dash main, Rainbow Dash Wonderbolt, and all 6 mains that we've seen so far have the same flip condition, which is when you confront this card's problem, turn this card over. Or at least, presumably, that's what it's supposed to be.
Indeed.
Right. Yes, turn this card over, not the problem.
Hull limit 3, pretty standard here. All of this so far points to something that would probably be a main used in limited play, but let's see what the boosted side does.
Wait, there's another side?
Yeah, there is. And there it is.
There we go.
Your flip 2 cards have +2 power.
So who wants to share some thoughts on this?
Let's see, I'll just lead off here. Hey, you know what's cool? My deck has a flip average that's 2 higher than it used to be.
Yeah.
It's pretty strong.
When your owls turn into 2s and your nightmare moons turn into 9s.
Yeah. That sounds fun.
It does sound fun. And this is potentially interesting because it's one of the first blue mains that we've seen that seems like it might have use as a control main.
Nightmare Moon.
Nightmare Moon was designed to be used as a control main, but that does not mean she's usable. Fair
enough. But yes, people's first inclination might be that Rainbow Dash is a good farmer, since you get the +2 power for farming. But no, I think you're right. She is actually a control main. She tries to protect troublemakers and so on. While it's true she gets the +2 power against farming, Ambassador of Loyalty also gives you that +2 power as long as she's involved, and has a better farming ability in that she can just move right back to the problem in case you lose. So I think she's a little bit worse than Ambassador of Loyalty as a farmer, but easily the best control main we have in blue right now.
With Ambassador of Loyalty also getting the power herself, it allows you to kind of play the One Punch Man style where you've got a lot of high requirement friends like Thunderlane who can drop down. But Wonderbolt actually has some interesting implications for farming or for even aggro.
Well, this is true. Extra flips.
Right. If you can utilize extra flips, you can actually get more power out of this card than you would out of Rainbow Dash Ambassador of Loyalty. And this one doesn't even have to be involved in the face-off for you to get that benefit.
No, she does not.
And this is the interesting part here, because some of us are sitting here going, hey, everything's +2. How about with a fashion week?
Yes, showdowns. Combo.
And here comes the combo trade.
1 dash.
1 dash.
1 dash.
Well, as I'm sure we're going to see with this entire set in general, because so much of it has been flip heavy, that all those showdown cards are probably going to become more important than they have been in the last set.
It's possible. Also, there's been kind of a shift towards people looking at chaos control or just chaos options a little bit stronger or a little bit more commonly than they have in the past. So seeing cards that might synergize with that, for example, Rainbow Dash Wonderbolt actually might consider playing something like Wild Manticore as a control, even though it's a 2-point troublemaker, because hey, that's effectively an 8-power troublemaker. Right. With the +2 power that you get.
Yeah, minimum you have an 8 there. Even if you flip 2 owls, you're at 8. And why are you running owl in your control deck? Shame on you.
I don't know, whatever.
Well, I mean, you might be running Paper Twilights in your control deck.
I can see that.
But yeah, cards like Crystal Pinky are great if you want to play a more aggro or even farming strategy. I think we're off to a strong start. Let's leave it at that. Rainbow Dash, she won't. I don't think she'll play as a mono blue farmer, but she has other avenues open to her that we might see in constructed play. And in limited, she's amazing.
I'd farm with her in block if this is the start of a new block.
Well, sure.
Well, if it's the start of a new block, you're going to be stuck with her if you want to run blue. So
that's fair.
Well, we don't know about the ultras.
Anyway. Could be other mains.
Anyway, let's move on to
who's next? Applejack.
Applejack.
Silly pony.
Same confront requirement. Let's check out the other side. Well, after we adore her beautiful art.
Yes.
Oh, so pretty.
Speaking of, I like the art on most of these cards. Most of the mains.
I was going to say, out of all of the new mains, I think Applejack is the best looking. It's also the most different from any other main that we've seen before in terms of the artwork. Normally, on the beginning, like the start side, we'll get a close-up of somebody's face or some type of zoomed-in image, and then we flip to the other side and we get a pan-out shot. With Applejack tooled up, we get just the character herself. She's got no background, which is really uncommon. And it's also a head-on view. To me, it just says it's something different than we've seen in any other card before, and I really like that.
The art on this one is weird. It doesn't fit the standards. It's wrong.
Must conform.
But I think that's exactly it. Because it doesn't fit the standards, it stands out.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
let's take a look at
grows
the
up to be cargo loader.
Yep, carbo. Including the somewhat what some people consider a mistake of not being required to be involved in the face-off. However, she's not teamwork, so it's less important. But
yeah.
But it also can't be dismissed in any way, so.
Yeah, but you're also still only getting 1 extra flip.
You can still, under arrest her.
Yeah.
You can under arrest her. You can drain her, utterly drain her.
There's still ways to deal with this.
You can use yellows, make her flip fewer cards.
She's also not stubborn.
She's not.
She's not
And-
stubborn.
And
None
again,
of these have keywords.
Right, and like Rainbow Dash and some of the others that we're going to see, this card has synergies in face-offs that don't even necessarily require her to be involved. It's kind of a trending theme here.
Yeah. I do think for limited, she's one of the better.
What, you think the blue and the orange veins are best for limited again? What?
Yes.
Pretty much.
What?
Pretty much.
Pish tosh.
Yeah. So I think Applejack is, like, speaking of Rainbow Dash, I think Applejack is to orange what that Rainbow Dash was to blue. I think she's more of a control main, but she looks like she's a farming main on the surface. But I still think Applejack, Ambassador of Honesty, is going to be better for your farming, and Applejack is just going to be better for your control. You can still farm with her, but I do think Ambassador is better.
Mhm. This would probably be a farming deck that would rely more on its friends, and then just
Right.
keep the main at home.
Yes.
Probably.
Or
All right.
maybe a two-color farming deck like Applejack Pink, for example.
Sure.
And
Buy some
speaking of
apples.
pink, I think Pinkie Pie is up next.
Yes, of course, Pinkie
She
Pie is
is.
up next.
Who can predict when Pinkie Pie will show up? Let's be honest here.
But you know what we can predict? Her flip condition.
Hey.
Ha.
This, her face is weird.
Wow, rude.
You just can't say that to people. Or ponies, I guess.
She's got that pinky grin on her.
Indeed. Let's check out her flip side. And it's
So-
the most amazing
Yes.
flip side ever, most powerful main.
So everyone seems to be really upset about this. And on the surface, this card does not seem as strong as any of the other mains. In fact, if you just look at it on the surface level, it's not. It's definitely
Yep.
one of the weaker.
In a vacuum, she is clearly weaker than the two we have seen before. She adds 1 power to an extra, compared to an extra flip, or just flat out 2 power, and removes her power if she's involved. So, on paper, she is definitely weaker than the others.
You can't look at this main as just a simple aggro main. Now, I'm not going to let the people who have some knowledge of this say much about this, but personally, I suspect that there's going to be a lot of triggers and things that you can use with, hey, look, a friend just dropped into play. Let me do something sneaky over here and move
Something
half
like
of your
Zippo.
friends away. Yeah,
Yes.
something like Zippo.
Something like Zippo that cares about either any friend or just Earth ponies, or maybe more things to retire other friends like Schadenfreude.
Yeah,
Mhm.
lots of things that you can use tokens for stuff entering play.
So it's possible we just don't know how to use her yet. But with what we do know, she does seem a little weak, but hold off on your final judgments. And
Okay.
again, these cards might change.
I would also like to point out, Pinkie Pie actually has some of the better synergy with Applejack Carbo Loader.
Well, yes.
Yeah, look at all these
Then you
little
turn her
Earth ponies.
into all tooled up, basically.
Yeah.
Only you actually
Yeah.
get a Earth Pony out of the deal.
Ramping all tooled up because the Earth Pony tokens will stay around and can be used in subsequent face-offs.
Right. Well, theoretically, I mean, maybe you're at home limit. She doesn't have a home limit of 5, which is sad. All of these mains have a home limit of 4.
Exhaust them to flip
Mhm.
cards.
I don't know. Throw it at
Party
people.
hard them all.
But again, that leaves it open to what's going to happen the rest of this set. We
Right.
could get like a Marks in Time style Zippo ability where she doesn't have a home limit for friends. Possibly.
Oh. Just pink does not have a home. No, that sounds very much like a yellow thing. I think only yellow cares about home limit.
That sounds
Pink-
terrifying in the context of pink.
If Pink stops caring about Earth Pony home limit, like Yellow stops caring about Critter home limit, that would be fun.
That would make
For certain definitions of the word
that would
fun.
make Cruise Director Carbo Control very obnoxious.
It'd be pretty good.
It would be somewhere for her to put all of her pony friend tokens.
I don't see. I
So
don't know
I
what you're
flip
on,
20 cards, stack my deck, and you lose the face off. Go.
and then you combo off next turn. Yes,
Whee!
No, it somehow comes back to combo.
of course it comes back to combo.
It always comes back to combo. ABC
Always be controlling.
Or comboing. Or
Indeed.
control.
Or crag rowing.
So
Crag rowing.
up next, I believe, is purple.
Purple.
It
Yes.
is. It is Princess Twilight Sparkle. Professor Sparkle. Now, is that Princess Professor Twilight Sparkle or Professor Princess Twilight Sparkle? I don't know.
Princess Twilight Sparkle, PhD.
That's correct.
That's probably correct.
I like this card.
Well, yeah, because the front side is so good. Nah.
Uh,
let's check out why you like it.
Best front side.
Because she's Green Dragon or
Anti-Green Dragon.
Ardragon. I don't know.
She's anti-Green Dragon, and that is the relevant part. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to your second successful farming purple main.
I would say
I guess,
third.
Luna. Yeah, it's third.
We had Luna and we had OG
Original
Twilight. Yeah.
But this one is by far one of the better ones. Unlike Premier Twilight, she doesn't have to be involved in the face-off in order to, get all those extra flips. And unlike
Right.
Luna, she doesn't actually have to be up there either. This one is just cool. I'm going to drop, a token or some other piddly body
Mhm.
at this problem, and then I'm just going to dump all my AT and beat this troublemaker.
But she doesn't have Studious.
Oh, wah, wah, wah.
Well, she doesn't have to be involved either.
That's why you
Yeah.
drop a paper twi at the problem. Exhaust
Also
her to get an
doesn't
AT.
have
Or
Studious.
drop a studious friend at the problem.
Right.
Yeah, like a TSUV.
Yeah, seems good.
But yeah, she is, in my opinion, the reverse of the Applejack and Rainbow Dash in that she looks like she might be a control main, but she is actually a farming main. I don't know if this was intentional, but I like this appearances can be deceiving theme with our mains here. Because so far we have 4 appearances are deceiving mains.
It's pretty interesting. We'll have to see what ends up coming out of it, but we might see a return to some cards that just have not seen a tremendous amount of play in a while. You might see someone trying to make something with this work with, Spike Take a Letter.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, I mean, you have to run Spike Take a Letter if you're running purple farming, right?
Well, you run that or Heart's Desire, but Spike Take a Letter has far less, risk.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to point out that this is the corrected version that Interplay posted on Twitter, so she is in fact a royalty again. And
Thank you.
also,
Yay.
if you look down in the corner, we have a set symbol.
We have something that
Ooh.
might be a set symbol.
Looks like a set symbol to me.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have a number yet, so I wouldn't 100% promise that's a set symbol, but it's most likely the set symbol.
Is that changeling sticking out its tongue?
It might
No,
be.
'Cause
it has
that's-
piercers.
No, I'm
Really
pretty
what it
sure
looks
that's the
like.
uncommon symbol.
It might be.
Cannot unsee.
Also, most important part of this entire card, we have a Hitchhiker's Guide reference.
Page 42.
Page
Where?
42.
Page 42.
No, that's just the changeling's teeth. They have fangs.
You were stuck on that.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with uncommon. So every
They're
card in the set is
probably all
uncommon.
Every card.
Every card. Okay.
You're going to open a pack, and there's only going to be 3 cards because they're all uncommon.
Wah.
So now let's move on.
Did we have anything
well-
else to say about her?
And
Oh, right. I wanted to say this. You might be wondering why run her over a more traditional farming main. And Grandpa's, do you have an answer for that?
Because wacky is fun. Honestly, purple has some interesting potential as a farming color, just because even though she's not going to be as aggressive or consistent as something like blue or orange is, purple is so tricky in terms of the other options it can bring, resources, events, things like that. So purple farming decks generally now in the current meta that we have the potential to run a lot more disruption for their opponent, and even potentially set up like a control deck if they have to before they're in an advantageous position to beat their own troublemakers.
Right, yeah. She doesn't farm harder, she farms smarter.
Right, and it has an answer to even if you were playing another control purple deck, if they were to frozen a Magicite or something, your character's away from the problem. Because Twilight can reduce that troublemaker to nothing, you still have a fairly good shot at beating the flip, even with
Well,
nobody there.
Plus, you don't have to invest AT until you know whether or not you would win.
Also,
Nice.
this makes multiple multicolor cards with purple, like the entire blue-purple cycle and the entire orange-purple cycle, really, really good with this card.
Well, I mean, orange purple has always been strong. Well,
Sure.
since Factory Jack.
Factory Jack.
Always
Her-
marks in time.
her alone is just like it's insane.
Silly.
Factory Jack is
Yeah.
really strong, but Bugle brought up a good point when we were talking about this, in that Princess Twilight Sparkle Time Patrol might actually just be a savage inclusion in a deck using this.
Yes. Remember all those ultra rares that you opened in Marks in Time? Were like, when am I ever going to use this? Time Patrol.
Answer is now.
Time Patrol for Princess Twilight is actually solid. We did the math, and she is almost always just either breaks even or better.
Right, she's never worse than neutral. So, anyway, let's look at the next main.
Which I believe is Rarity.
It is, in fact, Rarity.
Fashion Mogul. Oh yeah, this is about them being all grown up.
Well, it's about them having jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, Rarity already had a
Hey,
job.
hold on.
Lazy Pony.
We're
get a
not there
job.
yet.
Don't talk about the job.
So let's check out
Anyway.
her flip side. Banishy. Let's banish things.
When an
Yeah.
Talk
opponent
about
starts a
this thing.
face-off, you may exhaust this card to banish one of their friends until the end of the face-off. Hello, Thunderlane!
Yes, that's exactly why I love this.
Yeah,
Goodbye, Thunder Lane.
she is definitely the anti-Thunder Lane card. She is also an anti-Carbo Loader card.
Well, so Carbo Loader,
Anti-Crystal High. Mhm.
Carbo Loader will get to fire first.
No, this is a trigger.
It'll
Oh,
happen. It'll happen.
yes,
pretty
yes.
quickly.
Yeah.
However, that also means that Thunderlane's going to get the opportunity to drop here if he's not already on the field.
Correct.
True.
Yes. So you'll get your Thunder Lane up to 7, and then will be 5 and never involved in a face-off again for the rest of the game.
Right.
Unless you play another one. Then Rarity says, why?
Yeah, 'cause even if the first Thunderlane gets the drop after she fires, she'll just hit him for the second one.
Well, that's that you're playing a white deck, which just means that's when you drop the uh-oh and go, oops.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, so
You mean and
this
go uh-oh?
is...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is the best white control main we've seen.
Possibly the best white main.
I'd say I think
I-
Octavia.
I don't know about the. It's probably one of the best white control mains we've had. It's more the fact that this is a different direction for white control. Because look at what we've had so far, right? Mover and Shaker actually had play as a combo assassin style main, but she was so difficult to flip, you really couldn't make her work.
Yeah, she's easier now, but right now there's not an obvious combo deck to assassinate.
Premier Rarity saw substantial play in Taxes, so that card was actually excellent.
Yeah, but now she's neutered.
Right, now she's completely worthless. Queen Chrysalis from Absolute Discord is still playable, and actually saw a little bit of play as well in the regionals leading up to 2015.
I forgot
yes,
that she's
this is
white.
true.
Is she white?
Yes.
Original Queen.
It's
Chrysalis.
it's
Oh, the
annoying
original one. Yeah,
because
yeah.
the border is very similar to the other
Yeah.
Chrissy.
We're not
Yeah.
talking about Mi Amore Cadenza. We're
Yeah.
talking about actually Chrysalis.
Commander
Gotcha,
Queen,
the one that
the
steals
ultra rare.
friends.
Yes.
Yes.
Borrows.
I agree.
Bars.
I agree with Lunatic here, though. There's so many high-value
Lunatic.
targets, like Night Glider, for example,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
you can just say, "Boy, this would be a darn shame if this didn't exist in the face-off anymore." Boink.
Yeah. Basically, basically she has use against any aggro deck that tries to do face-offs. And chances are you're going to be playing Troublemakers, so they're going to have to do face-offs at some point. Any friend-based farming deck, and yeah, and that's about it. She's not very good against main-based farming decks. Applejack says, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but white has other options to deal with that sort of thing.
Some. Not white doesn't have very many things to affect mains.
Movement-based control is mostly what I was thinking of for that sort of situation.
Right, but that's purple.
And I think
Well,
exhaust everybody without an attached accessory?
Yes, there is Cold Wave.
But showy as well works for movement.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Though it may not be very relevant if your stuff is getting scared every turn or two.
Yeah. Because she herself does not have the showy.
Right. No
Also-
keywords on any of these 6 mains that we've seen. And honestly, with the difficulty we've seen in balancing some of that, I don't think that's a mistake. I think it's okay to have mains as long as their abilities are going to have synergy with their, color strategies in this set that don't necessarily have keywords, because it's just shown time and time again that some keywords are just much worse than others.
Swift.
Plus,
Yeah.
it
Swift
also,
compared to random.
it also goes with the strategy of keeping the mains at home. If you're moving your main constantly to a problem, then keywords like showy and calming, yes, are going to have effect when the character's at the problem.
Yeah.
But if they're sitting at home, then it's best, you don't need the keyword at that point.
Yeah. None of these mains, after they flip, you never need to move them to a problem again. Unless you want that 3 power.
So
Yeah.
the argument here might just be that, hey, it's a 3 power body that you can move for 2.
Which
Which
is pretty good value.
isn't as good as 3 power for 1, but that's why we can't have Swift on mains anymore.
Or pseudo Swift. Hello, FTA.
Yes.
Also, Bugle, just to piggyback on top of what you were saying with this hurting aggro decks and friend-based farming decks, yeah, Elves also hates this main. Like, oh my god, Elves hates this main so much.
Suddenly,
Where did your power
it's like,
end up?
I'm going into this face-off with 20 power. No, you're going into this face-off with 4 power.
0.
Okay. 4 is
Aw.
okay, I guess.
So, yeah, very good main. I like her.
So one last thought about it. It's kind of an odd power for white, because usually
Yes.
teleportation and banishing is something that's the domain of purple.
Yeah, temporary banishing has been seen in purple before. Like, I looked at this and it's like, oh, it's portal on a stick.
Yeah,
Only
It's not
only for your
exactly-
opponent's stuff.
there's
not exactly
mist teleport, and there's one other purple
There's
banishing
Minuet.
portals to the beginning
Discord
of the turn.
raffle.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
This is more like opalescence, though.
Kind
there's
of.
Zecora, sort of. I mean, I know
Right.
she's purple-blue, but she's still purple.
And I'm forgetting the name of the card. It's like portal, but it sends the character into the next turn. The beginning of the next
There's a
turn.
mist
Yeah,
teleport, and there's also a perfect teleport.
How did you
Perfect
put-
teleport. That's the one.
And then
I'm
there's
thinking of.
also
Living Silver,
Sleepy
how
Luna.
did you forget about Minuet?
Oh, you
I
guys
said
said
Minuet.
Minuet like 4 times.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure. I was
Minuet
gonna
has
say,
been said.
Minuet is amazing.
Minuet causes
definitely.
problems.
Minuet
Minuet
enables
solved problems.
tant abuse.
Minuet causes problems. Friendship problems.
Now, Sonnet Scroll in chat brings up a good point. This is definitely a control main. This is not something that you're going to be playing aggressively, because her ability only triggers when the opponent starts a face-off. You're probably going to want to give your opponent as many opportunities to try to start face-offs to use this ability as possible, which means likely playing Troublemaker control.
As a note, some aggro decks are kind of okay against this because they have a lot of when this card enters play abilities, like your Rutherfords or your Spitfires. So be a little careful with this. Don't just banish things willy-nilly. You might be giving them more than you're taking away.
Yes, the banish cycle of vexing friends will be really
Oh,
funny
yeah.
with this.
Yeah, definitely be careful about that. I banish your tank. Okay, I frighten something. Oh, whoops.
Dang.
Yep.
Next main?
Yeah.
Last main.
Next.
Fluttershy.
Oh,
She's
how
awesome.
far
Oh, wait a
she
minute.
fell.
No, she's not.
At the
Fluttershy,
start of
what
your score
happens here?
phase.
She's playable and limited.
She
Okay.
moves power. She moves 3 power for free.
Okay,
Like-
yes. In the context of limited aggro, this is hilariously good. Guess what? 3 power body for 0 at a problem.
This is true.
She's basically Bluna in limited.
To clarify, 3 power minimum. If you have ways to boost your main's power, this can get out of control.
Yeah. Flip a what's his name? Princess for a night.
Yeah, Big Mac Princess
Big
Fortnite,
Mac.
put some power counters on this thing, or use Vittle's stand to move power around to your main character and then just move it up for free. Like, there's all kinds of funny things you can do.
Unfortunately, this does exhaust as a cost of that, so you can't pull quite as many silly tricks as you could with Balloona.
Right.
And it is exceedingly hard to make a main stubborn.
It's
Sure.
also
She also doesn't help in the face-off.
Also true.
But on the flip side, what she does do is she prevents the opponent from starting a single problem face-off there. So something I realized with her is that she's very, very good at confronting dilemmas.
Nice.
Yeah, because normally how you get rid of a dilemma is they're confronting it, so you confront it, and then you have a face-off, and it's gone. Well, Fluttershy says, I'm going to play this Tyrix Reign of Terror, and then I'm going to confront it, but only on my turn, not on your turn. So if you confront it, she can decide whether or not she wants to get rid of it or do something, interfere with you. And keep in mind, she's not paying any AT to confront that problem. So I think she might have some play as a dilemma confronter.
It's possible. I could see that. And it's also thematic with what Yellow has done. We've seen cards like Marble Pie before that haven't contributed their power towards confronting towards face-offs, but
Right.
have given lots of power towards confronting problems. It's kind of a theme now.
Yes.
So the thing that I'm sad about with her is that it's not immediate. So you can't confront a problem with her and then transfer her power to the other problem.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Like because all of the others, like
There is,
Like, I
there
just
is a
read her.
reason. There is a reason this card has this text now. It did not have this text originally. Lunari, what happened when it didn't have this text?
It was bad.
Shenanigans. Endless
Shenanigans.
shenanigans.
I absolutely love testing it. It was fun.
But yeah, so yeah, I wouldn't completely write her off. Let's put it that way. I think there's a strategy that can be built around her, but it won't be as hyper as your Blunas or your Scootaloos.
But to be fair, if you're
But
talking about this in the context of limited, that's still amazing.
In limited, I honestly would consider forcing Yellow just to play this main right now.
I mean, maybe depends on what Yellow has in the set.
Yeah, rest of the cards.
Yeah, but
Also,
we're gonna get to
I
those
said
here
consider.
quickly.
I said consider.
Consider.
Alright,
All right.
alright.
So let's take a look at our first friend, who looks a little bit like Thunder Lane, and you get all excited, but he's not Thunder Lane.
And then he's not, but he's still really good.
He's pretty strong.
I say he looks more like Wildfire.
This is a super, well, I don't know if I'd say super aggro card, but it's designed for aggro. If your hand's empty, you get some benefits.
3 or fewer cards, yeah.
And
Then
blue
he-
is
then he
normally
has
not.
Swift, yeah.
Yeah,
Blue
blue is
can
not
do that.
normally going to have a problem with that because you're going to be dumping your hand, and then he'll have Swift, and then you'll be running all over the place and dragging things with because it's got the wildfire effect on it too.
Yeah. He has Wildfire regardless of how many
Yes.
cards you have in your hand. It's only the Swift. So at worst case, you're paying 2 to move 3 plus X power, and at best case, you're paying 1 to move 3 plus X power.
Seems good to me.
Yeah.
Apologies for the quality of the art here. These were presumably pictures of a projector screen.
Yeah.
And with a
That's my
mouse
guess.
over it
Yes, the mouse is part of the
because someone forgot about how to hide mouse, and
Oh well.
it's like when you're
Oops.
in
Yeah.
school and the teacher doesn't know how to full screen the video, and then you're
So
just
frustrating.
screaming internally.
Or that could just be the
Cringe.
watermark when like
Cringe.
photographers don't want you stealing their photography.
Ah,
They put a
yes.
watermark
Oh,
on
there you
there.
go.
So now there's one thing that Sky Stinger has that makes me go, he might not see. Yeah, he looks
The
good on
4
paper,
rec.
but there's one
His
thing. Yeah,
rack.
the 4 rec.
yeah.
The 4-rec can be a little bit but we've seen 4-rec cards do well before. Is
Yes.
he going to replace Thunder Lane?
No.
Certainly not in One Punch
No.
there, and likely not in other situations, but that 1 AT can matter sometimes. For example,
Mhm.
if you have no AT and you had a way to make something hasty, I don't know what
Yeah.
kind of magical situation that would be in, you could Burst of Speed to get this guy into play.
Well, the way to make him hasty is to play under the wire, in which case you're paying 4.
Right,
Or
but if you have-
flip Philly
Right,
second.
but here's the situation.
Right.
You have 4 AT and you've got 4 blue rec. Why are you not just playing Thunder Lane?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's not in your
However, he
hand.
can't be
Because
yoinkable.
Thunderlink could already be in
He
play.
can't
in
be
the deck.
yoinkable. He is food fightable, but he is not yoinkable.
That is advantageous.
Have you guys seen Yoink make a comeback in your local metas?
Oh, so apparently this is pictures of Dalton's laptop screen. And I guess Dalton just left his mouse in the middle.
Thanks, Dalton.
Close enough.
Yoink, I think, is becoming more playable as we're seeing more cards that are over efficient in power. We'll have to see.
Like Thunderlane.
Like Thunderlane.
Yeah, I mean, Yoink saw play
Or
at
Doctor Who.
top 16. Every pink deck in top 16 was running Yoinks.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I somehow managed to dodge all the pink at top 16.
Yeah, I had to play all of the pink in top 16. Well, I played 2 of the pink players.
Anyway.
Now
Next
watch
round?
out for this broadcast. There's a huge surge in the use of Yoink.
Yeah.
Alright, so up next,
So up orange.
Big Mac, Sir McBiggin.
Who is a unicorn, not an earth pony.
At least he's not an alicorn.
It's actually a unicorn.
Yes,
He is
He
actually
is a unicorn,
and he has a
which
horn.
explains how they're using swords. Thank you for clearing that up. They could have made him, I don't know, like pinky hooves, and that would have been horrifying.
yes. Pinky tentacle hooves.
No, that bit where she blows on her other hoof and develops fingers.
Oh, those hooves. Okay.
This makes me wonder if we're going to see the rest of the D&D costumes.
Probably.
Almost certainly. I would be more surprised if we didn't.
Yeah,
Which
that
episode
actually
I'm
seems
was
like
looking
great.
forward to.
Yeah, that was a fun episode.
Okay, I know our villain is going to be Chrysalis.
Yes. No.
But
No.
can
It's
our
gonna be the
villain
squid
actually
thing.
be Squizzard?
Squizzard.
we don't want Chrysalis villains. We only want Squizzard villains.
Nice.
There's going to be a no. We'll have an event that does something with one of those giant dice.
I still want. I have been waiting for this since set 2. Hint, hint, enter play. I want my maniac villain.
Yes.
We need
Oh,
more
yeah.
copies of our queen.
And
We
and
we
one of the
had
mains.
we had a maniac troublemaker,
Event.
right?
We had an
No,
event.
we had an
Event.
event. She's
Oh,
not
wow.
even had a troublemaker. We had all 6 power ponies and humdrum and no maniac, and that infuriates me to no end.
Eh.
It's a trump card for
We
whenever
had-
Interplay
no,
runs
we
out of
had a-
ideas.
We had
Nah.
humdrum, but yeah.
Yeah.
No,
we
they
had
already
humdrum.
they already
Yeah.
played that card, Living Silver.
So so what about this? What about his ability?
Can we have a rule book card too? The rules.
There-
Like referencing.
There's a few weird things going on here. On the surface level, he's one of the weaker of the friends who has been spoiled, but there's definitely some use here. Power counter synergy in orange, there's a lot of things that you can do with that. And he could see play in an orange farming deck that's relying more on friends, like, say, something using the new Applejack main, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. Or the Twilight.
Sad, like you also have to figure out a way to get him to not be frightenable. And
Another thing. So he, the fact that he gets the power counters. There's a card that I had been misreading since he came out. The original Double Diamond isn't remove a counter from him. It's remove a counter from one of your friends here.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yep.
So you remove it from Sir Biggin.
I seriously did not know that it said that.
Right?
That's
I
the
just
the super
assumed-
rare.
Yeah.
Ultra rare.
from
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zeo.
Yeah, I just assumed he was fair and balanced, but no. He is much, much better than I gave him credit for.
Yeah.
He's no
legit.
card
And he was
holder,
already
though.
good.
So, playable potential of this card outside of limited, what do you guys think?
2.5 out of 5?
Yeah.
Like, he can fill a niche, but he's not... I'm not
I was-
excited to play him.
I honestly think there's way too many good orange cards that
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be running this. You don't have room for this.
Right,
205,
exactly.
Yeah. I don't think this is going to show up in
Plus,
Constructive
he's a
Harmony.
2-flip for your farming decks or control decks. Like, he's
Yeah,
iffy at
no.
best. Or rather,
Yeah.
he's iffy at worst, and he's a little better than average at best. And typically, you want cards that are a lot better than average at best.
I
Now,
think, like you said, Bugle, it's niche. There's probably some decks that'll be able to make use of it
Right.
specifically, but outside of that,
Yeah, exactly. So like 2.5. He's not bad by any means, but if you can find that niche, put him in there.
Also,
Alright.
his flavor text is like it makes up for him.
So
Hornwell interloper.
let's now check out the pink card.
We got
Poor
another
Sugar Bell.
We got another Sugar Bell card. I like this because all Sugar Bell cards are silly. And this one is no exception. Look at this.
This is
Look
an
at this.
interesting card.
has the cursor waiting in icon.
Yes. Waiting to dismiss an opposing friend. Her cost is quite high, but
Yeah.
that's a big, like, don't confront here. Unless, of course, you're running Mosh Pit, in which case you're like, okay.
She is great at stopping Thunderlane DFOs.
Yeah, she's very good at this. This is an example of something I actually like seeing a lot on cards, especially in recent sets, where the card is under efficient in terms of its power just for cost, but its ability might make up for that.
She is a bit expensive, but I think in limited is where she will really shine. I think people will fall for her trap in limited a lot.
This is not even going to be funny and limited. This is
This-
going to be...
It might be pack one, pick one.
Yeah, this might be take this just so your opponents don't get this.
Easily.
Yeah. So in constructed, I think she's okay.
Yeah, we'd have to see.
I think she might have a space, though I think Sonata is typically going to be better than her on average, even though Sonata is a one-time use.
Living Silver, can I make a deck recommendation for you since you are a fan of Party Snacks, which is pink-blue kind of control?
Yes,
Can
you may.
you go ahead and run this card in that deck along with blue immediate speed movement and move it to every problem your opponent confronts and then like get value out of it?
I was just thinking that.
So she's at home and they go score phase and you go
Nope.
10 seconds flat. And they go,
Right,
okay,
exactly.
I still confront, I'll dismiss this. Okay, now I confront this other problem. No. Ever vigilant.
Exactly.
Now you may confront that other problem.
I'm so looking
And
forward
then
to
they
this.
double confront
here.
anyway.
They still
Yeah.
double confront, but
Sure, but now you've just eaten two of their friends for free. Well,
For 4 AT.
For 4 AT.
and 2 cards.
Okay, 2 AT if it's already there at 1
But I
problem.
mean, keep in mind, Food Fight sees play at 2 AT, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
And
and this is Food Fight on the body.
yeah,
And it's also food fightable.
Yeah. This
It
it
is also
is food fightable.
But it's not yoinkable.
No, it's
Oh.
going to be
Very
very
hard
hard
to
to yoink
yoink
this.
her. Yes.
The fun part here is that you can also run this around a Scootaloo, and then it's just like, okay.
Oh, that's gross.
Oh, the
Nice.
Scootaloo pink deck. I think we might see the Scootaloo pink control.
Oh yeah, it's
That
got
is
food
awesome
fight
idea.
and
It's
And
got
all of
Cloud
Scootaloo.
Burner.
I don't
Oh
know.
man, I miss Cloudburner.
No, you move up Cloud Burner, and she's exhausted.
Yes, I get it, but Taco Tuesday's cheaper.
Taco Tuesday's pretty good.
I mean, well, sure, you run Taco Tuesday too, but
Anyway, I actually really like this card. I'm gonna give it like 3, maybe up to 3.5 stars out of 5.
I think for limited, she's a 4.5.
I agree.
And in constructed, I'm again going to give her a 2.5, to be perfectly honest.
Are we actually going to do that sheet this year?
No.
Or not,
Maybe.
wow, this
We're
year.
not.
Maybe, I don't know.
We'll see.
No one ever fills the bloody thing in.
When
It
was
always
the-
gets linked when I'm not in a position
Meh.
to do it.
All right,
Anyway.
next friend.
Let's talk about the best card so far.
Bacon!
Love this card.
Bacon.
Love me some
We're up
bacon.
We're up to 4 bacons.
And this
Bacon.
card
No, wait.
is also different than how it was originally spoiled.
This is the big one, yes, that has changed.
During a face-off.
Right.
Very important part.
Yes.
So this is, we've heard rumors, I don't know for certain, maybe Grandpa's can confirm, that this is the European winners card.
Yes, that was the
Yes.
Oh yeah, I
was-
forgot I had that set up in there.
Yeah, that was what was said on Reddit. I'm not 100% sure, but I have no reason to disbelieve it right now.
Yeah.
Especially since I talked to Adam, and he was the one who said that her original form that didn't have the during a face-off was his personal typo. Because we don't use the face-off timing anymore, so we changed face-off to immediate and then just forgot to put in during a face-off.
So I was going to ask about that. What is the difference between face-off timing and immediate timing during a face-off?
Nothing.
It's more ju-
you can-
it's just templating for the most part, because the immediate speed effects you can actually activate at any time because this game doesn't have targeting
Yeah.
rules.
Correct. Yeah,
But
you can. Yeah, you
but
can use her, but nothing will happen.
right. In this case, though, the only difference is when they moved from Absolute Discord into Equestrian Odysseys, they abandoned face off as a timing, and they're just on immediate now.
Ah, I did not realize that.
They got rid of face-off timing, and they got rid of the awkward reaction timing.
That's what happens when you jump into a game late.
Yeah, it's okay.
Wait, we have the bot in Twitch now? Oh, awesome.
Yeah, Aura connects via IRC, so it's just in there automatically.
Awesome.
Commentary is magic. Technology is magic.
Okay,
It's
so
just freaking magic.
let's actually talk about what this card does, not how this card has changed.
Waking Nightmare loves this card so much. So much.
So, first off, she is very, very reminiscent of an old favorite,
TSUV.
TSUV. 3 cost, 3 rec, 4 power, and a keyword. All of that is TSUV right now.
Yes.
TSUV has
she's
Studious.
even a unicorn.
She's even a unicorn, yeah. It's almost like she was designed to be a parallel.
Oh?
Meticulous
we have been missing
too.
the equivalent of this for a while.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Wait, just a second. For those listening at home
Hmm?
that don't know TSUV, that's Twilight Sparkle Ursa Vanquisher.
Fair enough, yes. Twilight Sparkle Ursa Vanquisher, OG, ultra rare, purple. But yeah, so she has Meticulous 2, which is interesting, because Meticulous 2 is better than 2 instances of Meticulous 1. Meticulous 2 lets you actually look at 2 cards, so you can actually see 2 deep and know what you're going to flip in your next face-off. And if you don't like that, you could put a 4 on top.
Yeah, notice that this does allow you to reorder the cards. So if you stack your deck with something that would be good to flip, you can reorder, draw whatever was underneath it, and then flip the thing that you put there.
Correct, yeah. So yeah, Meticulous 2 gives you a lot of information that Meticulous 1 does not. Like, Meticulous 1 is good, Meticulous 2 is like at least 3 times as good. Not 2 times, at least 3 times as good.
At least it doesn't stack like Inspired does.
Oh,
And make sure, well,
you went
you
there.
probably want to do your Meticulous 1 triggers before your Meticulous 2 trigger.
Anyway, the second ability here has just so much use, even with it being restricted to face-off only timing.
Yes.
During a face-off, put this card and an opposing friend on top of their owner's decks. So, baseline, you're looking at, okay, I'm going to get rid of this card, which probably isn't even involved in the face-off, to get rid of something that you have involved in the face-off. And of course, remember, people do this pre-flip.
If you do that pre-flip. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
But it can be useful.
But doing it pre-flip has some advantages. You can effectively hard, quote-unquote, remove a friend. Like, it's going to be put on bottom of the deck, so unless they're playing with Spike or Dr. Hooves, probably not going to see that again, unless they're going to go through their entire deck, like if they're using a carbo loader
But you
strategy. I've never done
also
that, never.
lose her.
But you lose the Sunset Shimmer unless you're yourself running those cards.
Which seems a lot more likely considering each of those cards are also in her color.
Right, exactly. The other very, very important thing, and no one has touched upon this yet, I've not seen anyone mention this, she stops chaos. If
Whoa.
they know they're going to flip chaos, you put a card on top instead, they don't get that chaos.
Drop
Unless
the
it's
mic.
a tie. But you should be able to do the math to make it not be a tie.
I
You
don't-
have all of the information in front of you.
I'd also like to point out a very niche situation with this card that might be kind of fun. We have seen some decks trying to run mind control effects here. You can do some fun things to get back your friends with this.
Mind control?
Uh-huh.
Expound.
Pony,
Borrowing,
Pony
yes.
Charm,
Pony
Sugar
Charm, stuff like
Bell,
that.
Oh.
anything along those, a Queen Chrysalis main, anything along those lines that
Yeah.
have otherwise
Yeah,
put
if-
one of your friends into play, you can just put 2 cards on top of your deck, also simultaneously they're in any order, and then draw whichever one you'd rather have on the next turn.
Mhm. Yes. So she has a lot of utility that's not obviously apparent. And like I said, because of that Meticulous 2, you know what you're going to flip. You might know whether or not you want to use her pre-flip because you already know, is that card that you're going to flip what you want to flip or not. Now, this is, before flips. Sometimes you want to use her after flips. And the reason you might want to do it after flips is because you won't lose her.
Right. If you're not running some kind of, deck manipulation thing with Spike or more likely Doctor Who's, then this is something that you can do.
Right. Or if you know that you have a Chaos card on top that you want to flip.
Sure.
Right. So she's going to be difficult to use to her maximum potential. She's one of those cards with that very, very, very highly rewards good skill level.
She's a high skill cap card.
Yes, she's a very high skill cap card.
But
but
you're not
even-
going to be using her every turn,
No.
No.
like you could with TSUV.
Well,
But
TSUV you could use multiple turns.
She's
times a
good
turn.
though as a reaction too, though. You keep her on board until you need her.
Yeah.
However,
This is-
she is, 3 cost 4 power, which means if they start that face off, they could just yoink her first.
Sure.
So be careful. She is
But-
yoinkable. She is food fightable.
Meticulous too, yo.
Yes,
Meticulous too.
Meticulous too.
Real strong.
Yes.
That alone is enough reason to run her.
She's a good card. I'm
Well, I
giving her
wouldn't
at
say-
least
I
at
wouldn't
least
say,
4
yeah.
stars, right?
I think she's 4.5. Well,
This
no,
is
I
up
think
there.
you're right.
That-
I think
that's
she's
pretty
4, 'cause
high, yeah.
4.5 is like build aroundable, and you don't build around her. You use her to supplement your active deck.
Yeah, she easily finds a place in a lot of decks, but she herself isn't a reason to build the deck.
Yeah, my pink-purple deck is going to run maybe 1 copy of her.
Hold on, you're implying that I can't run Bacon Tribal?
I mean, you could.
How many bacons do we have?
Not
Four.
enough.
Three
Not quite enough
star.
for that.
Well, we have the Troublemakers. And
We have
Not
the
enough.
Troublemaker. We
Trouble.
have the
We're
original
up
ultra
to
rare
5
friend.
Bacons because I'm
Wait, 5?
counting Taco Tuesday.
okay.
Okay. Don't
And
don't-
the
don't
element of
forget-
And the
magic is
element.
technically Bacon.
Yeah, the
Uh,
element of magic is her magic. It's not Twilight's magic. It's actually Bacon magic.
Anyway, enough.
Also, can we count Pinkie Pie Whole Hog as part of the Bacon Tribal deck?
Yes.
Oh.
Wow.
There we go.
I don't even know which card this is.
Wow.
Okay, so
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, Sunset, good card.
probably an ultra
Good
rare.
card.
I don't think the rest of the cards we've seen. I think the rest of the cards we've seen so far are rare, but she looks like an ultra
No,
rare. to me.
this is not an ultra rare.
Yeah, like
The-
the templating doesn't look. Assuming
The
it's
template
the
is
same
wrong
templating.
for. Yeah, the
Yeah,
template's
the
wrong
art
for an ultra
alone
rare.
is the art alone is not an ultra rare.
You should be.
You have a point. It's not.
I
It's not see-through art.
no, trust me. I've been staring at entirely too many card templates. This is not an ultra rare.
It's also not full size. Like the ultra rares are full.
It's
art
not-
amongst the card. They
Yeah,
bleed
so
over
if
the edge.
this is not an ultra rare, and if this is the EU card, then my card's probably also not an ultra rare.
Is it could it be super rare or is that still a different template?
No, it's a different template. Okay, so
Okay.
Yeah,
foil
this looks like a
cards
rare.
have the text box partially translucent. So if you go, the Scootaloo main is a great example of this. You can't see your hooves. So I don't think this is an ultra rare or and a super rare.
Okay, so it's just a rare.
All right, let's move on.
To the Spoony Bard.
Yes.
Spoon.
Plaid, or what is that?
Plaid.
Plaid
Oh,
stripes.
okay. It's hard to
Plaid
read.
stripes. Spoonie, which I am positive is a Final Fantasy IV reference.
Okay.
Maybe. I actually
Bard.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Didn't play it. Don't want to
That was
play
such
it.
a long time ago.
Opponents play +1 to play cards with cost 2 or less. Okay. Well,
Bye-bye, critters.
Mosh Pit is very
Yes,
unhappy about this.
This card was designed specifically to counter Mosh Pit. That's totally
Yes.
why.
Mosh
Totally.
Pit is
too strong.
very unhappy about this.
Well, I think this is a response to the meta where if something, everything needs to cost 2 or less. In our current meta, very few things cost 3. Almost nothing costs 4. I think Thunderlane's the only thing that sees play right now that costs 4.
And this is all cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even friends. It's just like,
Yeah.
this hurts.
Troublemaker-
This
all
counts troublemakers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun paying 2 for those troublemakers.
This
Honestly, it
card,
does have unique on it, so there
So-
won't be 2 of them.
There might
There
be.
is- You can do the.
There's a way to
Xerox
trick it in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can do the you frighten her, then you play Crystal's Identity Theft, targeting her because she's no longer unique, and then you rally her, and now
Well,
have
I should
2.
say
Yeah.
there's no easy way to break it.
Right.
So
No.
now, if there
No.
are 2, Grandpa's as a rules guru, how does this work with things that cost exactly 2? If there are 2 in play,
If there are what? 2
Plaid
plaid stripes in
So-
play? So
Yeah.
here's
There
the
was
thing.
a Reddit
This-
comment.
Right, and this, can you find the original owner of that Reddit comment? Because they were absolutely correct. There
yeah,
was a
let me go dig
difference.
that
There is a difference between how much you have to pay to play a card and what that card's cost is. Cost is printed information.
mm-hmm.
So this is irrelevant no matter how many are in play. It's only going to affect cards that have a printed cost of 2 or less because what you pay for the card doesn't matter. So if you have if you have 2 plaid stripes in play and your opponent goes to play, say, a Night Glider, the 2/1/2 hasty friend, right?
Sure, you have to
It's
pay
going to
4.
cost. It's right. It's going to cost them 4.
Okay.
Likewise, if they go to play I don't know, let's say, what's a 1-cost event? Magical Misfire. It's
Sure.
only going to cost them 1.
Well,
Eccentric Greg is the
won't
individual
that
who made
cost
this
them
comment.
3 because it costs 2 or less?
Or, I'm sorry. Yes, it's going. I apologize. It's going to cost them 3. That's
And
right.
you actually hit this problem even without having multiple out, because if you cost reduce, like
Right.
you Cloud Chaser.
If you Cloud Chaser, you're not actually Cloud Chasering.
Right. Well,
And
no, you are, and that's the thing that's relevant, right? Because Cloud Chaser reduces how much, or it reduces the AT cost that you spend to play a card, but it does not actually reduce that card's cost.
it says
So
reduce
Cloud
the cost.
Tracery, something that's with a 3 would still.
No, it says you pay 1 less, I think,
Right,
for Cloud Chaser.
Pay 1 less is the relevant part. Anything that says pay less doesn't affect that card's cost, only how much you're paying for it. So we'll look up the text right now.
Exhaust this card to reduce by 1 AT the cost of the next friend you play this turn.
Okay, so Cloud Chaser from Premiere would have a weird interaction with this, but most things we see now where you're paying less to play a card are not.
And let's look up Remarkable. Exhaust this card and discard a card to pay 1 AT less for your next card this turn.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, but that actually this gets even weirder because you end up with stuff about order of application of continuous modifiers here.
It's continuous independent or I can't remember if they're independent or dependent, but it
Yeah.
basically comes down to timestamp order.
Right. So
Yeah. Yeah, so
but
yeah.
this means your Cloud Chasers and your Apple Blooms can't. Well, let's say
No,
you
the
have
Apple
something
Bloom
that
should
costs-
work because that
Mhm.
that makes you pay 1 less rather than Cloud Chaser, which is reduce the
Right,
cost.
right. But let's say you play something. Let's say you're going to play something that costs 0. Can you Apple Bloom that to get past the plaid stripes?
That's a
Because it
question.
says you pay 1 less.
So that's a question we can look at later in the or later in a different stream because we just need to look up the timing of that in the rules document. It does
Fair enough.
already provide the information we need to understand how that works.
Right. So the answer exists. It's just complicated.
Read the rules.
Yes.
It's not
This-
even complicated. You just have to go digging.
This card is going to be so much fun to play with the white yellow Davenport, in which it makes friends 3 cost or greater +1 to play.
And then you just throw in a stack of suitcases,
Couple
and then
sacks of suitcases.
Exactly.
and now combo is super sad.
Now then you throw in a wake-up call, which is great because they're like, oh crap, not only do I have to pay more for my yoink, you might blow it away too.
Yeah.
This also has interesting things in terms of what it might cause people to deck build with. So consider
Mhm.
Food Fight, right? Food Fight is one of the top removal spells we have right now because it's a low AT cost and it hits most valuable things.
And
But-
has high flip, yeah.
Right, because it has high flip. However, it has a low enough cost that it's going to be taxed by Plaid Stripes. Food Fight is one of the reasons that Rolling Tones isn't seeing play right now, but Rolling Tones is actually better against a deck that's running Plaid Stripes.
I love
While
my Rolling
true, I
Tones.
think the first thing to get food fought is just going to be Plaid Stripes.
I mean, sure, but I'm just making a point here. If
Yeah.
they've got, and are you going to tell me White doesn't have Recursion of Friends, which they
Never.
right?
But yeah, I think you're right that people will have to consider this card in deck building, just like you have to consider Jerkface.
Even though Jerkface hasn't seen as much play as she
Yeah.
should have.
What is her name? Rainbow Dash Rainbow Dash on even ground.
On even ground. Well, that's why she causes so much damage when she shows up out of the blue.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I actually
Blue.
think
Blue.
I think
Ah.
actually Plaid Stripes is going to wind up being better than on even ground, just because her effect is immediate as soon as she hits play. So let's say you're playing against a purple player and you think they have Napcakes in their hand and they have 1 AT. Play this. They can't play that Napcakes anymore.
I mean, sure. I think she kind of serves a different role. On even ground is there for the combo decks that just bank and bank and bank and bank and then don't care because they clear the board before they go off. Plaid Stripes is going to see far more play in like block format, limited format, things like that. Also, for that very special Nightmare format, which may or may not have events at cons coming to you soon, this card just destroys so many things.
Yeah, but the release set is after Babs.
This is true.
This is true.
But
The game will
timing,
exist.
The timing of pre-release is awfully close.
Well,
We'll have to see
what
about
happens
that.
there.
Are we allowing Nightmare cards in freaking or set 8 cards?
It's
in
Nightmare. There's no rules.
Oh, wait, so I can have more than 3 copies of a card in my deck?
Sure, YOLO.
Why not?
YOLO.
Alright, so
So
let's,
how many magical mailboxes can I put in one
Yes.
deck to guarantee a
45.
turn 1 win?
Hey,
Let's,
if you can come up with 45 magical mailboxes,
Hey, no one needs them.
I didn't
Okay.
even realize until earlier Magical Mailbox has a foil.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
What?
not the only
Yeah, right?
banned
Who-
card with a
who
foil.
And I
We
think I have a playset of the foils.
We have
Oh,
4
man.
banned cards that have foils.
I want. Anyway.
Let's
Moving
take a
on.
look at yellow. Got
This card
some
real good.
some shy cards.
This is actually my favorite spoiled card so far.
This, I agree.
very
That makes-
aggro card.
I don't think they're the best, but they're my favorite.
See,
It just makes me happy to see yellow getting some love.
It is like the cost is a bit high for what yellow generally wants to do, but
While
But it's so
true, I
effective
think
what it does.
3 costs for 3 power, and then you have Call in the Dream Cavalry for the rest of the game is pretty fine.
It
yeah,
just sits anywhere too. It doesn't have to be, it's active
Yeah, well-
constantly.
And if they're at home, they have Swift.
yep, includes itself.
Yeah. Even at 3 cost, it's really easy to, as soon as you play it, make the cost up in save action tokens with moves.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they will see play.
Yeah, this seems like
Um,
a relatively solid card.
Yeah, I think this is also a 4. I think Plaid Stripes is a 4. I think these two are a 4.
I
so-
don't.
One of my hopes, I know it's not likely, but one of my hopes is that yellow somehow skyrockets back to first place. But at the very least, I think cards like this can bring her out of 7th place.
Yes. Well, behind Colossus
Ouch.
with Queen Chrysalis.
Yes.
Okay. Just double checking.
Ouch.
Wow.
All right.
So we have another friend before we move on to the other cards.
What?
Rainbow Shine.
Yes.
Who
Rainbow Shine.
Oh, Rainbow Shine.
we don't know what she does. We know
We
her
know she's
name.
pink
Well,
purple.
some of us know what she does.
Yeah. Win card for you.
Win card for you.
Rainbow,
One card, period, for you.
Rainbow Shine gift giver. Win card for you.
One card for me.
And she's pink purple. The
She is,
yeah.
no. She is K purple. She could be potassium purple.
She's K pole.
Yes.
She's
Okay,
K-pole.
so the story behind
black.
this.
Black.
Yeah, she
color?
could be
Yes,
black. We're getting
black, purple. Oh, hey, red and black cards. Excellent.
is
We can make
brown.
donut steel now.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, so the backstory behind this card is we posted that image of Rainbow Shine being like content God, we love content.
The one that you saw
And-
at the beginning of the stream.
And you are seeing now.
So, okay, so we threw this up on Reddit, and Rob, being the horrible troll he is, responds to that post with this image.
And the text, I can't wait to ban Rainbow Shine again.
Now, Rob is a horrible troll.
I'd say
By
he's an
which-
amazing troll.
Rob is an amazing troll, and because of that, he's horrible and amazing.
Yes. So-
Horrid, amazing, amorable.
Yes. So he posts this just basically to, like, his trolling motor is going at full speed right now.
So now, don't take this as faith. It could be a troll. It might not be Rainbow Shine.
Pretty certain it's Rainbow Shine.
But
Pretty-
we're pretty
pretty
certain it's
sure.
Rainbow Shine. And above her, you can see another pink-purple friend, Twilight Sparkle, all under control, who has the text, your.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
it.
You're something.
You are.
And then down beneath that, we have something else, presumably in pink, but a different color combination with
Right.
the text, another satisfied. I'll let you fill in the word here because my answer is inappropriate.
So,
Probably customer.
probably.
It's probably customer.
But yeah.
With the text when.
With
and
the
it
text
has-
win.
And it has some kind of trigger.
No, it
No,
just has
you
the
don't know
text
that.
win.
It just says when.
Yeah.
Might not be a trigger.
We have a question from chat regarding Mr. and Mrs. Shy. If you have a friend at home with teamwork, could that give some friends double swift? So, teamwork only affects printed abilities.
Which is
So,
why it never works
unfortunately,
with Queen Crystal's identity theft.
Right. If
Yes.
teamwork worked with abilities that were not printed, we would have lots of dumb things going on right now.
I'm pretty sure
Oh.
that would break instantly because then the
Ah.
teamwork would propagate. And
Yeah, you will never see a teamwork cat. Never. Never, never, never. It is impossible.
Well-
you will never see it.
you say this.
You say this,
Teamwork.
but we might have something coming up here that actually does things with teamwork. What could this be?
No.
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 not yet. No,
No.
we don't. Not official anyway.
You will. I can almost guarantee you will never see a teamwork cat. We might see more teamwork cards. That's not out the window, but you will almost certainly never see a teamwork cat because it makes things a little too silly.
Okay.
So,
So personally, I'm just overjoyed because hooray, the possibility of a new Rainbow Shine. Yay.
Yay,
Indeed.
new Rainbow Shine.
Now, something very relevant. Pink and purple have the most banned cards right now.
Stop. Don't ruin this.
oh, that is beautiful.
She's gonna get banned.
Don't
I think
ruin
Rob
this
was
for
only
me.
half trolling.
Okay,
Rainbow
okay,
Shine
look,
did
look,
everything
look,
wrong.
look, she didn't do anything wrong last time. I'm okay with this one getting banned. She just has to do something wrong. That's all I want.
I think we have our next combo deck already.
Yeah.
Maybe she gave out way too many gifts.
She is a trigger, and triggers are can be abused sometimes.
Maybe it says, when you gain 1 AT, draw a card.
Yes.
Yes.
For
This
each.
is the
Wait, no.
fun too.
For your characters here.
Draw a card.
No, but there's a period.
Oops, comma. I meant for each of your characters.
When you draw a card for each of your characters, gain an AT.
I
Oh,
could be okay
goodness.
with this.
Yeah,
Oh, goodness.
that seems fine.
This
No,
seems beautiful.
We'll go ahead and print that.
Okay.
Chat,
Anyway,
what do you think Rainbow Shine says? Chat, post your answers.
yes.
We'll read them.
And
But
so
anyway, we have
up next,
one
though,
last card.
yes, we have a
Yes.
villain. Not a villain, sorry.
A
Just say
troublemaker.
villain.
I almost I scared you guys there. No, we got troublemaker.
No, the villain scared us.
The best troublemakers.
Got my hopes up.
All these changelings.
Oh, they don't cause so much trouble anymore. They're all kind of magical now, or more magical.
Traitors to the hive.
Our queen, best queen.
Our queen, best queen.
I'm sad that this does not have the changeling mechanic. The changeling
Do we know
mechanic
what
was my
the-
favorite.
From the 6-powered changeling
The
troublemaker.
retire something.
Retire something to turn this card over immediately. I loved that mechanic.
Ah.
That was
Yes.
so great. But we don't have that anymore.
Oh, changeling pretender. Oh, okay. Not changeling pretender.
No.
Sorry.
Infiltrator.
Infiltrator.
And
Swarm.
Yeah.
Infiltrator and Swarm both. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, had it retired. But let's look at this. What's the tech?
Each other problem.
Right.
Just skip into the cool part.
Each other problem. And
So-
also token copy of a troublemaker.
Yes, we can now have token troublemakers.
And guess how this interacts with some other cards.
Dilemmas.
With Cloney.
No, Cloney's.
Oh, is it token friends?
Ah. Friends.
Sad.
Yeah, she does say token friends.
But
she
monstrous man.
does let you. This does let you put multiple troublemakers into play, and if you have 4 dilemmas in play for whatever reason, you can block them all with one card.
It's really nice. And like you were saying, and one of the things that we love doing with this monstrous manual with this card is really, really silly if you can protect the original one.
Oh, every
Yeah.
turn.
And a bell tower can get it out immediately.
Yeah, Bell Tower or Hasty Discord. Now, Hasty Discord with this card is going to be hilarious. I go to DFO. No, you don't even confront one problem. Sorry.
Nice. Note that other hasty cards or even Shimmer Full, those don't work for putting this effect into play because those cards put a troublemaker immediately into play and doesn't
Face.
require them to flip.
Yeah.
They get
Yeah,
put
you
into
need
play
to
face
uncover it.
up.
Yeah, you need to
Yes.
uncover it.
Yes.
Now, one thing about this card worries me a little bit. It is incredibly good turn 1 against all of the mains we just saw, and then your stuff like Scootaloo and Octavia. And this card alone makes me wonder if those mains will be significantly less viable. Because you block both problems, and now you have to work that much harder to flip your main.
Yeah. The value on this card is quite high. It's only 4,
Yeah.
but it's 0 bonus.
It's 0 bonus. I think this is going to replace Yellow Parasite in every deck that I'm running that runs Yellow
No.
Parasite.
No.
I'm not even kidding.
What? No.
No.
Okay. Look,
Now-
Yellow Parasite
Ouch.
Still wins
8 sets
games.
later still wins games.
Yellow Parasite's a lot more vulnerable than it used to be, and giving up that point.
But it's so early in the game. Well, so when you use it, it's generally early in the game. If you
Yeah.
get it late, it's not as useful.
I
but-
think this is better early game.
That's why you're supposed to use
Like,
the Pinkie Pie heart of the cards to banish that thing that they need, or discard that thing that they need.
So has no one really sat here and talked about this with dilemmas and Daring Do poster?
Yeah.
No,
Daring
this
Do
is true.
poster.
Daring Do poster just
Mhm.
racks at the AT.
Oh. Daring Do
One
poster
AT
is
investment.
unique, though, right?
Three AT
I'm just
back.
gonna play like a bunch of nightmare scenario, impossible to confront dilemmas, and also run monstrous manual and get my monstrous manual value just out of Daring Do poster at my home, and also still gain more AT, and
But
also
see,
block all the problems and still confront.
If
and
only
score no
Daring Do
points.
poster wasn't unique.
I know. If Daring Do poster wasn't unique, we'd see like Blackest Night decks do weird things.
People were upset in playtesting when it wasn't unique because of me.
Really? I wonder why.
Well, I was kind of gaining 6 AT a turn doing nothing.
Anyway.
And another thing that, I mean, in discussion of Changeling Barricade, a lot depends on if we're talking about Changeling Barricade being used in isolation or in combination with Monstrous Manual or whatever cards.
On its own,
Yeah.
it's good, and it's actually a pretty non-risky card to have in limited. You look at troublemakers in the Equestrian Odysseys block, and apart from the fact that they were few and far between and generally, weren't that impactful in limited, you didn't really want to run them because Applejack was a real threat. You were playing right into your opponent's flip condition and making them stronger, and they just get out of control.
Oh, Applejack and Rainbow.
Well,
Both.
yeah, but Rainbow didn't snowball like Applejack did.
No.
Right.
But the thing with the Question Odyssey troublemakers was they were all 0 points, or there were a lot of 0.1s.
Sure,
that were
but
there.
still,
But
you
feeding
didn't want to play
Applejack
them.
was so scary.
Right.
And it was almost always correct to run Applejack or Rainbow. Unless you
Gotcha.
were allowed to run Scootaloo, in which case you run Scootaloo.
Gotcha.
Right. But I
Anyway.
think this card has the potential to be pretty good in the upcoming limited environment with
Mhm.
Defenders of Equestria.
Yeah, I think this is honestly the best troublemaker that's been printed since Armosby. Possibly better than Armosby.
I don't know. Sombra
Yeah.
Uncommon was pretty powerful.
And it really depends on what.
Sarcasm.
It really depends on what you're doing with, because Armosby is really nice to just be able to hide behind.
Yes.
But this is nice for just blocking.
Well, Armosby is the counter farming and control troublemaker. This is the counter aggro troublemaker.
Like that time I
And
put two of them
summons.
into play during the villain challenge, and the farming player couldn't farm anymore.
Yes. Everyone remembers that 3-hour nonsense. Jeez. There are still nightmares.
Zippo
Nightmare
for the
Moon is
win.
having nightmares of puppies, thanks to you.
Puppies and snacks.
The puppies! The puppies!
Snakes. Why did it have to be
Snakes.
snakes?
Anyway, that's all 13/14/16 of our cards.
Well, sort of.
Well, of our Defenders of Equestria spoilers. Let's put it that way.
Overall, let's get general thoughts on the set so far before we move into the little bonus that we have here. I like the direction the set is going. I loved playing with it. Lunari?
Yeah, this set's going to be a whole lot of fun. It brings, even just what we've seen so far, brings a lot of options to various colors that really needed them. Yellow.
Yellow.
Or yellow.
Yeah, just yellow.
Yeah, just yellow.
I think orange needs help a little bit. Aside from Applejack,
How
we need-
much yellow was there at Gen Con Top 16?
there were 10 cards, 3 of them were purple-yellow.
Zippo.
Ha!
Zippo's is great.
10 total cards.
Nice.
Blue had over 100 cards.
What? Why?
Blue had over 100 cards.
The blue doesn't sound very good. Anyway.
Yeah, there was definitely no blue cards in the top 4.
All right. Anyway, we're focusing on this set. Let's remember.
Wait,
Yes.
focus? How focus?
What? I found a shiny.
Yeah.
Um,
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
Uh-huh.
Well,
So yes, so this set.
I will
I-
reserve my judgment for this for the moment because I don't think we've seen enough of the set to really get an idea of what kind of shenanigans it's going to do.
There's a lot of potential. There's also several of these cards could fall flat on their face if we don't see the support. I'm looking at you, Pinky.
She gonna be fine.
Um,
She gonna be fine, probably.
Like,
We
Hashtag probably.
the good thing, the thing that I like about our mains is that they all support strategies that haven't seen a lot of top tier play lately. Whether or not they themselves will see top tier play, I can't say. I think some of them will. I think some of them will have tries. People will try it. I don't think any of them are bad, except Pinky.
Wow.
But we'll see. We'll see how Pinky actually plays out. I'm holding out hope that she, that use more than just what she looks like in a vacuum.
Dougal, I think like me, that you love Pinky and want so badly for her to have something amazing.
I have always wanted a competitive level Pinkie Pie main. Always. But when you look at a certain other pink main,
right?
It's difficult to have that be true.
Yeah.
I feel your pain.
Cheese, what do you think?
About the set? We've seen like 2 cards. Okay, maybe a few more than 2. But
Some
like
14, 16,
Yeah.
whatever.
it does actually seem... I like what I'm seeing so far.
I mean, if we look at the 140 number and not the approximately 150 number, we've seen 10% of the cards almost. 13 plus Rainbow Shine.
We haven't seen any
Yes.
super rares or ultra rares yet, so
Apparently. I
What
mean,
if
Hey,
keep
who's
in
to
mind-
say that Rainbow
keep in
Shine...
mind those were mock-ups. Those weren't the actual cards. So it's possible that we might see them as ultra rares or super rares to come.
Okay. That's true. My predictions on those not being shiny are predicated on their art being the final art, which is not necessarily true.
So yeah.
Anyway,
Ponka, thoughts?
I don't want to say too much because we know more than we should. But so far, the direction they're going to new directions that we haven't seen before, which is great because shifting metas is always nice if we get the support necessary to make these decks work. But I like that we're trying to do something different from what we've been doing in the past.
I agree. It's cool to see mains in color combinations, maybe supporting strategies that color really didn't have a chance to do before. And it'll be cool to see what people try to do with them. We've been starved for content for so long that everyone has all their creative juices flowing. The subreddit's been completely blowing up this last week, and people have been posting comments on Facebook and Interplay's Facebook page and all of this. Everyone's very excited to see what new opportunities are presented with these cards.
So one last thing before we go, I think.
Wait, do I got a comment on the
Oh,
end?
yeah,
Oh,
I guess you can
yeah,
talk.
yeah.
Sorry
Nah.
about that. It's just Leo's living silver. No, so I honestly am most looking forward to the commons and uncommons of this set. One of the things that made Marks in Time such an amazing set, for especially the time when it came into play, was that it had really strong basic cards, and
Factory
this
Shot.
was very
Food fight.
important for getting new players into the game.
Shining Hops.
In our local meta, we just brought somebody on this weekend into our local meta, taught them the game, and it's a wonderful thing to be able to go up to the register, just purchase a booster pack and have solid commons and uncommons come out of that pack. To a new player, you're like, all right, well, you can just start your deck with these cards here and have something that's relatively strong to compete. And that was one of the complaints about Marks in Time when it first came out, was people were like, oh, the ultra rares, they're not that powerful. Look how powerful Thunderlane is as a rare. Well,
Yeah,
Thunderlane is an
Thunderlane
ultra
is
rare.
the best ultra rare of the set.
yeah. And when you're trying to bring new players into the game and you're trying to promote the limited format, this is really, really strong and really advantageous for the game to have solid, easily accessible cards. And I am looking forward to the commons and uncommons that we're going to see in this set. Sorry, and I hope we get something good.
I think you might have seen one already. I think Big Mac might be an uncommon.
That would be awesome. That would be good. I'd be happy with that as an uncommon. I'm sure. Actually, none of these are ultra rares, if I'm not mistaken. Just from the art
Right.
alone, like we said.
Again,
Well, our theory.
Yeah.
Our theory. I would hate to see any of those artwork as an ultra rare, to be honest. And I'm pretty confident they're not, just because we've gotten such amazing job from Interplay's artwork team in the last 3 sets. All the ultra rares have been amazing. Even if they didn't play well, they just looked incredible. And when you opened it, you pulled one, you knew. You're just like, this is awesome.
Royal Rare Twilight looks really nice.
Yes.
Ultra rare Fluttershy from Marks in Time is still one of my favorites.
That's still my favorite of the set. Like, I didn't that was one of the 2 ultra rares I think that weren't spoiled before set. So I didn't know how badly I wanted that card until I opened one at the pre-release.
And we talk about Boots. Like how great of a great looking card Boots is. Applejack, big sister, right? Isn't that the subtitle?
Protective
sister. Yeah, it's
not
just
sister, sis.
Sis. That's right.
Protected
just
big sis.
Just such a great looking card that regardless if you're going to use it or not, you're happy you pulled it, and it makes you excited for the game, and it makes you want to buy more packs. And that's, ultimately, isn't that what we're here for? To play more ponies.
I want to see a competitive deck level that can use her. Like, she is competitive level by herself. She is competitive level. We just haven't seen a deck that can support her.
Well, give it time. We'll see what happens.
Anyway,
good start to the set so far. Interesting things.
Was that actually everyone? Am I skipping anyone else this time?
Did we get Tyler? Did Tyler give his thoughts?
Yeah, we got Lenore.
Okay.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, then I guess one last thing I want to ask everyone. With what we've seen so far, I'm sure most of us have already had deck ideas. What deck do you most want to build from what we've seen here?
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear that as well.
Like, do we want to ask our playtesters, or is that too biased?
I would suggest not doing that.
Okay,
I
I
can't
suggest because the ideas I have are things that are not here yet.
Okay. We'll skip our playtesters. So
Do not care as long as it runs Rainbow Shine.
Ha!
So pink purple.
I mean, to
Sure.
be fair, pink purple is a powerful combo,
Pink purple is very powerful. Yeah.
and it runs Rainbow Shine, which is the important part.
Purple pink farming. New Twilight main. Bell Tower.
Bell Tower. Bring it
just
back.
a series of unfortunate events part 2. That movie's coming out. My God, do I have to rebuild that deck now?
Okay, so Arcat wants to build pink purple. How about you, Cheese?
No, I want to build Rainbow Shine.
You want to build Rainbow Shine. So blue pink purple.
I wanna build combo.
Combo. So
More Rainbow Shine.
not Silver Spoon deck.
Yeah.
Say goodbye, Silver Spoon deck.
Hey,
Indeed.
he could run Silver Spoon
As a
to
counter
protect his
to
opponent.
slow
Not
down.
Silver Spoon. She's
Yeah.
not Silver Spoon.
Close
Silver-
enough.
She
Plaid
is
stripes,
Plaid
whatever.
Stripes.
Her
She just
name
has
is
Spoon in her
Spoons.
name.
Spoons. We have boots and spoons. Would you say that? No, I'm not going to say it.
Don't.
I'm not going to.
Don't. Reverse psychology.
Okay. How about you, Silver?
I honestly want to build something awesome with that pink main. My love for Pinky supersedes anything else.
Mm-hmm.
She's got potential. I feel I've even been scouring the past cards that we've had. I am very excited to see what we have coming up the pipe that can work with her.
Mhm.
Even if it's not top tier competitive, it should still be fun somewhere along the line with her.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as for me personally, I have 3 goals going into this set. Goal 1 is to make a control deck in a color combination I've not yet done. Hard to see if we can do that. Number 2 is a farming deck in a color besides blue or orange, and I think we can definitely do that. But the thing that I most want is to bring yellow back. It doesn't necessarily have to be aggro. It could be control, farming, whatever. I want to bring yellow back, and the 2 yellow cards that we've seen are not a bad start.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Spoken
So-
like someone who has hid private information.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shush.
So we have a couple other things we want to talk about here briefly. There are these things some of you may have heard of, may have been to, that are called conventions.
What are those?
Oh god, conventions.
Oh, you mean Daring Do conventions?
Frighten your parents. Yes.
What? I just want to go and talk about the books.
Right.
Show off your daring do pillow.
Conventions are a lot of fun. And we are blessed to have a lot of awesome conventions in the MLP fandom. And at these conventions, there are CCG events, like, for example, at PonyCon in New York, or at Pacific PonyCon earlier this year, or upcoming, what's that thing called, Cheese?
BabsCon. We're gonna have some events there.
Or Everfree. I hear there's going to be events there too. Or probably
sound like-
BronyCon. I bet there's
those
going to
sound-
be events there.
Those sound like fun conventions.
Do they? I bet they are.
Kind of. I bet they're fun. Fun!
Fun.
Fun!
We're not doing this. Oh my god, why?
Do I need to bring out the paint?
No.
No.
And at these events, we'll have all kinds of formats, right? We're going to see things like constructed, we're going to see maybe some limited events, and what other sorts of things might we see?
Those about cover it.
See some
Constructed
villain-
and limited cover it.
We've had some good showings with Team Sealed, and at Pacific PonyCon at least, there was a pretty big showing for Villain Challenge as well.
Villain challenge?
Villain challenge. For anybody who is interested in the villain challenge, who happens to live in the Northern California region, anywhere within the area near the Bay Area, we will be hosting a store villain challenge event. This is perfect opportunity to bring any of your friends that are thinking about the game, have no experience with the game, even if they don't have their own deck. Because of the team format, it's a great place to advertise and just get new people playing. That is in the East Bay area. Find me on Reddit, look in the Facebook Canterlot group, or message anybody, the original official Commentaries Magic team for information and details. It will be posted in Reddit. Anybody who is interested in that store event, we do have prize support, and it will be amazing. And it's just a generally really fun social event.
And
Anyone
that's Villain Challenge for Nightmare Moon, right?
Nightmare
Yes.
Moon, that's his
So-
correct.
So the Nightmare Moon Villain Challenge was actually just posted to Reddit. So if you want to try this at your store, go over to Reddit, download a copy of the cards and the rules, get ready to scare your friends.
Well,
It's
not
not-
your friends. Your
Yeah,
opponent's
exactly.
friends.
Well, your friends' friends.
Your friends.
Anyway, Nightmare Moon's a scary old mare.
Scaring friendship is magic.
But one of the cool things about Villain Challenge as a format, and something that we've really enjoyed working on as a fan contribution to this game, is that there's more villains than Nightmare Moon.
Indeed, there are.
Like Rainbow Shine.
Rainbow
Like
Shine,
Rainbow Shine.
Rainbow Shine is true terror,
Destroyer of Worlds.
but there's other villains too.
Or Zippo.
Or Zippo.
Zipper will.
Zippo is destroyer of formats.
When do we get a Zippo villain?
At the beginning of each turn, put infinity puffies into play.
There you go. So, as part of preparation for BabsCon, which I believe is the next upcoming major con here on the West Coast anyway, we're actually developing another villain challenge. And again, this is a fan-created format that's just been a lot of fun for people to play in.
Before we
and-
reveal it, do people want to guess who this next villain is going to be?
We already said.
No. Did we?
It's
So
Rob
who-
the Troll.
Yeah. Who remembers who it is? And of course, the stream's on like a 27-second
we didn't
delay.
say
Yes,
it
we
today,
did.
but we did say it
Yes,
in our
we did.
most previous stream. We said it
That's-
today too?
No, I don't think we said it.
No, I think
today.
we just said it last time.
Any guesses?
You have to wait a while.
You don't
Oh, yeah.
have too many choices. Okay, they got it on the first guess.
Yeah, the first try. Good job, guys.
Well done.
Spoil it.
Let's see what
It
we're
is in
working
fact
with here.
Sombra. We should actually say that for the people who aren't
Yes.
reading chat. It is in fact Sombra.
And here
Do
he
people know what
is.
colors Sombra is going to be?
I think we said that
Sombra.
one too.
Well, now they
Yeah,
do.
I believe we did. Sombra's going to be pink and orange. That's from what I understand from Aura a difficult color combination to make look good
Oh
on
my
a card.
god. That was
Basically
very
just
fun.
looks pink to my colorblindness eyes.
Yeah, seriously, how many times have you guys mixed up orange cards with pink cards?
Never.
Never.
Except in the dark.
What? I do it all the time, so
Well, so I wish
get
it was
good
Best
or
Queen
something.
too, but we're working on Best Queen.
Yes, Best Queen in floating amorphous blob. But let's look at Sombra here. Sombra, people might notice who have participated in the Nightmare Moon villain challenge before, has the same first ability that Nightmare Moon does, in that he gains extra action tokens during his action step, and he draws an extra card during his draw step. Can we assume this is pretty universal?
So far, I think we're going to keep going with this because the villain honestly does need a lot of help.
Until
but
we need to change it, it's what we're going to go with. But it might change. For example, we might just turn that into 3 AT and only draw one card.
Well, but to
Just
be
as
fair,
an example.
you can turn that into a card draw.
Yeah,
If we
exactly.
wanted to, we could just make him.
Gain. We could change it to at the beginning of your turn. All of your cards are free until end of turn. I don't know.
That would be fun. That sounds like fun. That sounds like
sure.
Zippo.
Yeah.
Or Rainbow Shine. One of the two.
That's Rainbow Shine, yeah.
Let's look at the other abilities, though. During face-offs, your crystal friends here have competitive X, where X is the number of your crystal friends here. Now, I may not have really enjoyed my algebra, but I think when you've got
enough.
X being listed, and then you've got like all those X friends getting X power, that seems like that gets strong.
That
gets real
not
strong real
algebra,
fast.
that's multiplication.
That's algebra.
I think
Anyway,
that's
so
algebra
what
'cause
this-
it's X, but-
I don't know. I had to solve for X. That's the important thing here, and I don't know how to solve for X.
You count.
But counting is hard.
I
So it's a
signed
combo
up for
player.
a
If
card
people
game,
can't
so I gotta-
count and they're playing ponies, I'm sorry,
Okay.
there's a lot of counting in this game. You might be better off with a different game.
Okay, but the thing here is, when Sombra gets a bunch of crystal friends in one place, they get real powerful, real fast. So he's going to be winning some face-offs.
I will note that second ability is only relevant during mass showdowns and troublemaker face-offs.
Problem face-offs do as well.
Nope, never. Read the third ability.
Okay, so speculation if he doesn't have this ability.
Well, considering we know what the other side is.
Yes.
I'm just saying, on that second ability,
Stop being a troll, Bugle. Just do the card thing. You're confusing people. Yes. So Sombra seems to have some synergy with face-offs here.
a little bit.
He flips at problem face-offs. Crystal friends get bigger, which is also interesting because there aren't that many crystal friends. There aren't that many that we've seen. I wonder if there are ways to make more.
I can only think
Maybe.
of one.
Dip in the
Pinkie Pie.
pool.
Pinkie Pie is the only crystal friend I can think of.
Well, this is also true.
True. She is the only crystal friend that ever saw any kind of play.
And with a
Shining-
Smearsberry
Shining-
almost did.
Shining Armor.
Shining Armor.
Shining Armor saw some play.
Nah.
Yeah, Shining Armor did see some play.
Nah.
And with a Smearsberry almost did. It was very
Almost.
close.
That's
And then we saw a better friend.
And then we got Globetrotter Band instead. Anyway. So yeah, we have a little bit of a sneak peek for the upcoming villain challenge here. So get ready. He's scary. He's crystal. He's a tyrant. It's King Sombra.
For that, though, I think that's going to wrap up our stream highlighting what we've seen so far with set 8 cards. The plan is, as more cards get spoiled, we will hold additional streams, likely on Sunday.
Yes.
So, as Princess Rob continues to give us content, God, we love content, you'll probably see more of it here. And as always,
What's our cutoff? I think 3 cards. If we have at least 3 cards to spoil, we'll do that on Sundays.
yeah, 3 seems reasonable. We'll probably do it on Sunday. We'll announce it on all the usual places, Reddit, IRC, Facebook.
Etc., etc., etc.
If you have questions about what you've seen, comments about the stream, or you just want to share your thoughts or rant at us, please feel free to do so. commentaryismagicteam@gmail.com. And as
Yep.
always, if you like what you saw and you would like to support us, we have a donation button down here just below the stream. Every bit helps, as Fluttershy says. She's
Mhm.
adorable. Look at her. How can you resist that face?
Yeah. And if you do, we'll thank you on stream.
Hey, free publicity. That's pretty
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. And this isn't official yet, but I think there's a very high chance that at some point in the future we will get our own spoilers that will be first time seen on Twitch live.
It's pretty likely.
And Cloud Chaser and Flitter tend to get spoilers, usually.
Welcome to spoiler season.
You heard it here first, boys and girls.
And yeah, it'll be a fun
Horrific.
time, I think.
So much content.
So
So
much
much
content.
content.
God, we love content.
And watch out for rainbow shines.
Yes, as always. Watch out for rainbow shines. They do horrible, horrible things.
They wanted to. They weren't given the chance.
I think we're going
With
to go ahead
that-
and wrap things up for tonight, though.
Yeah, I think we're done. I think people want to do other things now.
Like watch
Yes.
the Super Bowl.
What's
That's
Super
probably
Bowl?
over.
Yes,
Hogwash.
sir.
JK.
Speaking of something Falcon joke goes here.
Can't make the
Falcon joke
Falcon
actually doesn't
joke.
work
Patriots
anymore.
won. Anyway,
Of course the Patriots won.
for all of
Proving
us
that
here,
Falcon is still not relevant.
for all of us here at Commentary is Magic, thank you for joining us. I am, as always, Grandpaws.
I'm Emperor Bugle.
Big cheese.
Arcat.
Zanari.
Living
Yes.
Silver.
And I'm Punkapo.
And the rest. Here on Gilligan's Isle.
We'll see you all soon.
Bye-bye.